Welcome back. I'm here with another Bible story, and this is titled God Helps Ezekiel. We begin. Abraham had lived a long life, and the Lord had richly blessed him with land, flocks, herds, maids, and servants. Everything a man could possibly want. However, he had one concern that deeply troubled him. His son Isaac was not yet married. That was a great problem for Abraham because God had promised that he would have many grandchildren and great grandchildren and they would become a great nation. Since Isaac was the only son of his beloved wife Sarah, it was extremely important to him that he be married so that the promise of the Lord would be fulfilled. Abraham called for his most trusted servant, Eliezar, and talked this problem over with him. Please promise me that you will go back to my country and my people and bring back a young lady to marry my son Isaac. I don't want him to marry any of the young ladies around here because they worship idols and are not godly. Eliza was not only an important servant in Abraham's household, he had been with Abraham so long that they considered one another as friends. Eliza didn't want to disappoint Abraham in any way. Eliza thought it was over very carefully before making a promise to his beloved friend. What if I can't find a woman that is willing to leave her family and come here to live? He asked, should I take Isaac back to your old hometown to live among her people? Abraham didn't have to think very long about that question. He had a ready answer. No, if you can't find a woman willing to move here, then you are released from the promise. Abraham replied, God called me many years ago to leave my home country and follow him. This land, the land of Canaan, is where he led me. God promised to bless my family and children here. Isaac must now return to the country from which I came. Eliza made the promise to Abraham that he would do his very best to find a bride for Isaac. Abraham trusted Eliza so much that he had put him in charge of everything he owned. Eliza was free to take whatever he felt was necessary. Nothing was kept from him. Eliza cherished that trust and thought carefully about what he might need. He chose 10 of Abraham's very best camels and loaded them with supplies for the trip. He also packed several expensive gifts to give to the young lady he would be bringing back with him. After carefully looking over everything one last time, he climbed up on the lead camel and started his journey to the city of Nahor, which was in the country of Mesopotamia. The other 9 camels were following closely behind. After traveling quite a distance, Eliza reached the country of Mesopotamia. Even though he was hot, tired, and hungry, he kept the camels clumping along, knowing that he would soon reach the city of Nahor. We might think that after traveling such a long way on those hot, dusty roads on top of a humpy, bumpy, uncomfortable camel, most people will want to go straight into the city to find a place to cool off, get something good to eat, and then rest. But that was not the case with Eliza. None of those things even entered his mind. Eliza took the mission very seriously and wanted to be sure to do it properly. As soon as Eliza reached the gates of the city, he did something that most people would find to be very strange. He got off the camels and made them kneel down. Then he kneeled down right outside in the open and he prayed. O Lord, God of my master Abraham, please let this be a successful journey. It's just about time for the young ladies to come to the well to get water. I won't know any of the girls. I won't know which one would make a good wife for Isaac. So this is what I would do. I would ask one of them for a drink of water. Please show me which one the right one by having her say yes, I will give you a drink, and will also give your camels water to drink. This way I will know which young lady you have chosen to be Isaac's wife. Just as Eliza finished his prayer and stood up, the young ladies from the city of Nahor came to the well. This was their time to enjoy one another's company. They were talking and laughing and didn't even notice the stranger standing nearby. Eliza carefully looked at each one. This is really important. I surely do hope I choose the right one, he thought to himself. But I prayed and I know God will help me. Eliezar noticed one particular young woman. He approached her, saying, I have traveled a long way and am thirsty. May I please have a drink? She smiled gently and replied, Yes, I will give you a drink, and I will also give all your camels water to drink. She quickly filled her pitcher with water and gave it to Eliezar. When he had finished, she filled the pitcher, then poured the water into a bucket and gave it to the lead camel. She then went back to the well and refilled the pitcher for the next camel. She repeated this over and over until all 10 of the camels had enough water to drink. Even though the Lord had answered his prayer, and the response of the young lady was exactly the way he had prayed, Eliezar stood watching her and wondering, could this really be the one? She is the first one I approached. How can I be absolutely sure? When all the camels were finally finished drinking, Eliezar reached into a pouch and took out a beautiful golden earring and two lovely golden bracelets and gave them to the young lady as a thank you gift. He then asked her name and asked if her father might have an extra room in his house so he could spend the night. My name is Rebecca, and I am the daughter of Bethuel. Nahor is my grandfather. Eliezar paid close attention to every word as Rebecca continued. We have plenty of room at our house, and you don't even need to worry about the camels. We have plenty of straw and food for them. Eliezar bowed his head and worshipped the Lord right there at the well because his prayer had been answered. God led him exactly where he needed to be. From talking with Abraham, he had heard of Bethuel and Nahor. He knew this was the right family. And from Rebekah's actions of patiently giving water to all 10 of his camels, he knew for certain that she was the right young lady to take home to be a bride for Abraham's son Isaac. God made sure that everything worked just perfectly in answer to Eliezar's prayer. Now here's some questions I want me to ask y'all. Now y'all gotta write it down, okay? Part of your homework for today. Think. Why was Abraham troubled? Question mark. What was the name of Abraham's first servant? Question mark. What was the first thing Eliezar did when he reached the city? Question mark. How did Eliezar know which young lady was the right one? Question mark. What gifts did Eliezar give to Rebecca? Question mark. What was the last thing Eliezar did after Rebecca told him who she was? Remember, pray. God answers prayers. A verse to learn. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray. Psalms 55:17. Alternative verses to learn. Pray without ceasing. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight. 1 John 3:22. And whoever you do, do it heartily as the Lord and not unto men. Colossians 3:23. Practical application. If there's something you really like God to do for you today, have mom or dad, your teacher, or your friend ask you to do something that's hard for you to do. Oh, this is an assignment over here, y'all. Have you talked to God about it? Do you have a trusted friend or grown up who may be able to help? After discussion, Abraham loved God and often talked with him as a trusted friend. Eliezar was not only a servant to Abraham, but he had also become a trusted friend. He served Abraham, but at the same time, he served God, calling on him for help whenever he needed it. Most important of all, whenever you must do something, do it for God with all your heart, so well it makes God smile. Pray now and ask God for help. Ask him to send godly friends into your life just like he did for Abraham. Better yet, ask God to help you be a godly friend to others. Can you find this story in the Bible? It is in Genesis 24, 1 through 27. Enjoy. This is the story of how God helped Eliezar. Okay? Enjoy.